This is a full step-by-step drop servicing tutorial for beginners just starting in 2025. And after making over $1 million drop servicing, I will show you exactly how to start, scale, and make hundreds of thousands of dollars from the comfort of your own home. All without any previous experience, a big time commitment, or money to invest. We're gonna go over everything from how to pick a niche, how to advertise, how to actually deliver on the service, and last but not least, collect payment. So sit back and relax while I show you the entire blueprint of starting a new drop servicing business from scratch and how I personally scaled it to over $20,000 a month in profit my first year in business. Before we get into the steps, I need to first break down the business model for you. And once you understand how it works, you will never be broke again. People pay me thousands of dollars to teach them for this information, but I'm gonna share it all with you for absolutely free. So the way this business works is you get a lead and you pass this lead off to another company that's already been set up. You wanna get leads that are gonna pay you a good amount of money, and you wanna find other companies that are gonna service the lead for very cheap. And your profit is the difference from what the client pays you minus what you pay the other company to get the work done. Then you want to sign these clients up on a subscription plan. Preferably, it'll be best if you can get them done every single week. And then the process repeats over and over and over again. And that's the business model overview. This is not something though an absolute child could start. You need some basic life skills to get into this business. And I promise if you have these two basic skills, you will 100% see success with this. The first skill you need is to be able to speak to customers, okay? So you will be doing some customer service, you will be talking to people, so you need to know how to talk. Most people can do this, not everyone can do it right. You don't need to be a master, you don't need to be a speech therapist, you just need to be able to talk, be kind, and show customers a certain level of respect when you're providing them support. The second skill you're going to need, and this is the one that not everyone has, and it's hard to achieve if you weren't born with it, but you need some kind of level of work ethic. If you put in the time now, you will have nothing to do later. But the initial setup and the grind for a new business is going to always be there. The only people I've ever come across in my life that have failed this business model are the ones who just give up and they don't put the time in. You'll come into a couple difficulties, but that's fine. It happens. All you need to do is keep trying. And if you do, because of how simple this business model is, I guarantee you will succeed if you just don't give up so easily when you come into the first headache that you come across. All right, let's transition into the steps that this business model will have. I'll make this first step super simple and easy, and if you don't follow my guidelines, you're probably gonna set yourself up to fail right before you start it. If you listen to what I'm about to tell you, this could make you a lot of cash very fast. I've worked with clients and they've made over $10,000 on their very first 30 days. And we spent 2 weeks of that, not even operating, just talking, just coaching them, okay? So 30 days into this business, $10,000 back out. It's worthwhile if you just put in the damn time. The first step is picking the niche, okay? There are really only two niches that this kind of business model works with. I find it works good with lawn. It also works good with cleaning. So you can do lawn care services or you can do cleaning services, okay? I wouldn't really branch out past these two. You can also do snow, but I just find it's not very common. There's maybe a dozen cities in all of North America that you can operate a snow removal business in. And odds are you probably don't want to start in that one, or maybe it's in Canada and you live in the US and starting this company across borders makes things even more complicated. But I'll get into that in the next step here. So pick one of these niches. You can kind of ignore that one, but if you do with caution. Picking the niche is the easy step because I've told you exactly what to do. This next step gets a little bit harder and it takes a little bit more work out of you, and that is picking the location, okay? You want to be in an area that has at least a 500K plus population, and you need to have low competition and a high demand. If you live in a big city with low competition and high demand, that means you will get a ton of clients for very, very cheap. And that's why picking location is very important. If you're wondering how to do this, I would just use Google, and there is a keyword research tool in a Google Ads account. So you can do the keyword research tool. So that's how you study your location, put in the time, put in the effort, figure it out. Comment if you have questions, by the way. The third step is to get clients, and this can be sometimes some of the trickiest part of this entire business, especially if you're uncomfortable or if you're scared. My advice to you is don't be scared. I will guide you through this. You're gonna have to activate your work ethic here and tell yourself, I won't give up until I succeed. Give this your all and you'll be on the beach sipping margaritas in no time. Just listen up. So to get clients, we're going to use, once again, Google Ads. Now, we did our research on Google Ads keyword research tool because we're gonna be running our ads on Google, right? You see how that links up there? So as long as you're choosing somewhere that has low competition and high demand, this is gonna be super easy for you, okay? Now, there are some free methods that I'll get into in a second once I touch on Google Ads a bit more. So if you are worried that you don't have money, you don't want to invest in this, that's fine. It's just going to take even more work for you. That's what it takes. If you don't have time, you spend money. If you don't have money, you spend your time. So with paid ads, it costs money, but it's somewhat passive. The leads just come to you, super easy. If you don't have a lot of money right now, it's a great thing to get into down the line. But if you do, let me briefly touch on it. So you want to watch a tutorial. Okay, and I have a tutorial on my YouTube page. I can link in the description below. Or you can pay someone to do it for you. You can also pay me. There's a link in the description below if you want my services. So whether you're doing it yourself or you want someone to do it for you, I'm your one-stop solution to all of it. So make sure you watch my tutorials or go to me because I've done this before and I have a tutorial specifically laid out for this business model. So if you want to see how to set that up, links in the description, watch it at the end of this video. Now, once you get it set up, you have to put the money into the campaign. Keep in mind, the more money you put in is the more money you get out. So if I put $3 signs in, maybe I'll get $6 signs back out. If you put $3 signs in and you only get $2 signs back out, you did something wrong here. So if this doesn't go up, this is the problem. You did something wrong. You followed the tutorial wrong, or you set up, you paid the wrong person to get this going for you. But assuming this all goes well and you make your dollar signs, you take it back, right? You take a fraction of your dollar signs and you put them back in here. So you put money in, you get more out, you take some back out, boom, boom, boom. And any of the remainder that you don't put in, that is your profit. That's what you keep for yourself. So you put $3 signs in, you make 6, you put 2 here, you keep 4 for yourself. And so you just recycle it and you scale this business up that way. Now the next method is the free. So this is kind of lame ass way to get clients, but if you need to be on your grind, be on your hustle, and you don't have money, respect it. So it's going to be outreach. It's going to be cold outreach, right? You can go door to door. All right. You can call. So if you're doing lawn care, you can call business owners. Business owners is the only way you can really do cold calls. You can't cold call residential clients. It's a little messed up and I don't think you'll get good results from it. So you call businesses and you offer the services, okay? The other way is Facebook groups. So if you don't want to call, you don't like doing door to door, go on Facebook groups, local Facebook groups. Hey, I'm just a young guy, young girl, starting my own business. If you want to support, blah, 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 local in the community. Can do really good numbers on there. And this one isn't free, but it's an honorable mention because it is pretty cheap. You can do flyers, right? If you don't want to do door to door, you don't want to talk to people, you're shy, you can make some flyers. Cheaper than Google ads, hand them out. I honestly find if you put $200 into flyers, you're better off putting $200 into Google ads. As long as you set things up right, you're going to get better results. But flyers done right, you're bound to get some leads. It's just a numbers game once again. Before we get on to the fourth step, one more honorable mention. You could do like newspaper or local kind of board ads, right? Community boards. If you have anything like that, go to your local gym, see if you can leave a business card there. Just more a variation of the flyers, just in a more of a communal setting. Potentially might be free. And if you don't have money for flyers, you can just print them off using regular printer paper. Anyways, I'm moving on to step 4 now. Once you have the clients coming in, things get much easier. I'm going to tell you how to quote the client for the service you're selling and get the job complete so you can keep 50% or more of the revenue for yourself. That means if a client pays you $300 a month for a service, you're going to keep $150 or more for yourself. You do that 30 times, you're halfway there to 10K a month. So when you get the lead, you start to call other companies, okay? Other companies, you ask them to give you a quote for the lead you got. So you're getting whatever lead you got, you're going to give that to the other company, ask them for a quote. You want to find the cheapest company, use them. So you're going to use this guy in this scenario, $1 sign, cheaper than 3. To find these guys, you will want to use places like Facebook Marketplace, right? Craigslist, Kijiji, or any other similar local hiring marketplace, okay? That's where you're gonna find companies that are willing to do the work for cheap. The reason you can do it for cheap is because they don't have a good marketing team. They don't have a good marketing strategy. They're on Facebook Marketplace, they're on Yelp, they're on Bark, right? They're not getting a lot of leads and they don't have either the capital to get into paid ads or the work ethic to do the free outreach. And so when you do these methods, you can charge a premium on the service because it takes a lot to get the client under these marketing platforms. And so these clients are willing to pay more because of the convenience. So you can get high paying clients and give them to low paying workers. And that's where you're going to make the most amount of dollar signs. So whatever this company prices the service out for, right? You want to find the cheapest, you're going to double it and you're going to send it over to the client. Right? And if you're closing a lot of clients, doubling it, that's where you can start to increase your prices more and make more than 50% margins. If clients are saying no, you probably don't have a cheap enough outsourcer and you have to go do some more calls, call more companies on these platforms, and find someone who can service them for like an actual cheap price. You should be able to charge the client double what you're paying. And if you can't, you just got to call around and find someone cheaper. Step 5 here is to service the clients. So you have someone who can do it, but how do you go about actually getting them service now? At this point, you're practically at the finish line. Implement my easy to follow template I'm about to go through with you, and you will have made your first dollar with this remote online business model. Listen carefully, because the way you're going to approach this conversation is going to be the difference between securing the best outsourcer and a great job, or just letting it all slip away. Before you call someone, you want to wait for them to approve the quote with whatever the outsourcer was. Once they approve the quotes and you locked in the cheapest person you could find, give that person a call, okay? You want to say, hey, I also operate a lawn care company and you quoted one of my client's properties. I want to work with you, right? I want to pass this job off to you. You know, we don't have the facilities to service the client ourselves, so we're just looking for someone to partner up with, and I think you'd be a great person to do this for. Whatever you want to say, something, phrase it something like that, right? And then ask them, you know, would you be interested in taking even more jobs we get when they come in? Probably going to be, yeah, okay, sure, interested, right? Because you're giving them exactly what they're asking for. And maybe you try to negotiate a bit and say, hey, you can do it for like, you know, 25 instead of 30, right? You wiggle with them for sure. But if you find someone who just default has super cheap prices, that's going to be great, because no one's going to be upset. No one feels like they're losing out. Customer will get better customer support, customer service, better quality of service, because you'll be checking in on them. So it's a win-win-win in all three scenarios here. You do need to be super transparent at this point and let them know you're another company looking for them to service the clients for you, right? And just let them know, hey, you can't show up in branded material. Hey, you can't talk to the client, steal the client, tell the client you work for your company, tell them you work for mine, right? Make sure they're all on board with all of this. Most people will be, right? It's free clients for them, and all they have to do is say they work for another company. Psh, yeah, why not? Some people are going to ask, oh, what if they steal the client from you? Well, you're offering it to them at the normal rate or a little bit under what their normal rate is, because their default prices are so cheap. So it's not going to be a problem. Why would they steal them from you, right? They don't even know how much you're charging. You could be making, you know, $3 profit, or you could be breaking even with the way you approach the conversation to them. All that matters to them is they're getting paid a reasonable price. They're happy. There's no reason to steal the client from under you. If they agree to all the terms, you send them the address and you tell them to go service the client. And like I said, most people want to set this up on a subscription plan, so you'll be able to service them week after week after week. Now we do have to chat about collecting payment. So how do we get the money? Well, you just send them an invoice. So we use a CRM, okay? The CRM I use is called Jobber, Jobber. You can send invoices, you can send quote, you can do all client communications, just about everything through the software, all the way through scheduling them on a weekly service and auto charging their card every single week. Everything's done on Jobber. So it's a great platform to use. I recommend you use it if you're doing this. So you send them an invoice through Jobber. Once you check the visit is complete on Jobber, it'll send them the invoice. You'll collect your money. Now, when do you pay your outsourcer? As late as possible. If you can pay them once a month, great. On the first of every month after all the work's complete, wonderful. If you have to pay them after each visit, that's okay too. Whatever they need, try to delay it as long as possible. This helps with cash flow for your business. To ensure your customer is going to be happy and not sad, you have to double check their work, especially when you're working with a new outsourcer. So how do you do that? Once the visit's about to be marked complete, just ask them to send you some pictures. The guy who's actually at the job, not the client. You don't want to ask the client for that. They send you some pictures. If the pictures look good, you mark the job as complete, then you collect the payment, right? So everyone's happy in this scenario, and that's what I mean. The client's going to get a better quality of service because you're going to be double checking everything for them. Step 6 is to relax like a real cool and chill guy. Of course, as clients come in, you have to talk to them and make sure the new clients are getting set up. After you talk to a client one time, maybe 2 times, depending if you need to follow up with them, but after their first or second point of contact with a client, it's essentially passive income. They get put onto this subscription plan. Your outsourcer goes and services them. It gets auto-billed every single week. If customers will complain, it happens sometimes. You just call, you handle it, you get your outsourcer to go back and fix them. There's not too many things that can go wrong at this point. As long as you found a good worker, you're essentially servicing these clients on autopilot, and just it's a matter of stacking up more and more and more until you either want to hire a VA to do it for you, or sit back and relax, take your 100 clients a month, make your 20K a month, chill out and do nothing. I will give you some strategies though. If you're someone who wants to take this business from a few thousand to $10,000 plus a month in profit, you're gonna need to have some right systems in place. So let me cover that for you in this scaling module I'm about to go over. So the first thing you're gonna need is the one software to make sure you can scale this from anywhere from 10 to 10,000 clients. You're gonna need Jobber. Use another CRM software if you have one, go for it. But I like this one. It has everything already pre-built, set up exactly for what you need it to do. Without something like this in place, it's gonna be impossible to scale past like $1,000 a month. You're not gonna have any way to invoice them, send them nice quotes, or just keep track of the entire schedule and who's doing what. So I recommend getting Jobber or something else in place if you really want to take it to the next level. Next is marketing. Okay, so if you started with those free versions of marketing, that's okay. But to take it to the next level, once again, you can't keep cold calling businesses or doing door to door unless you build out a team. So you can build a team of people to do the outreach for you, door-to-door marketers, whatever it may be, pay them commission, or you can run paid ads, which is my preference, right? $15,000 in, $500,000 back out. That's an example pulled right from my business. All the leads came to us. They were very easy to close, not much convincing, no haggle on the price, just, super high quality clients that are going to stay for years to come. And the last step is to delegate and automate. So there's not a whole lot of automation you can put into this business in terms of like AI, other little softwares, but there's tons of delegating you can do, and it can all be done by one single person, all the way up to like 6 figures a month like I'm doing. So I have one VA that runs basically the entire show. They hire outsourcers for me. They deal with the marketing. They deal with calling the clients, following up with them, making sure they're closed, making sure everyone's happy. So delegating is going to be super important if you want to just make this more so passive. Plus, if you want to take it to a next level, because it can become like a full-time job if you're doing everything yourself at that point. Pass it off, you have nothing to do, and you can just sit back and relax. So I would start by first hiring someone to get the leads for you. Whether you're paying someone to do the marketing or you're paying someone to go door to door, whatever it is, I would automate marketing first. You're just going to get a better ROI. Like if you're new to marketing, you're running your own ads, you're probably not getting as good of ads as someone like myself who has over half a decade of experience, right? If you want to hire a marketing manager, like I said, just hit the link in the description there. You and I can talk, whether it's this business or another, I got you covered. The second thing you're going to want to automate is that customer service side of the business, right? Like I said, I have someone who does all the customer service. They answer the inbound calls, they do outbound calls for quote follow-ups, and they communicate with the other companies in case there's any issues. Hey, there's something was missed, go back and fix it, please. The last person you want to be hiring is an operations manager. This is someone who's going to handle everything for you on the operational side. They're going to call out outsourcers, they're going to talk to them, they're going to hire them, they're going to make sure everyone's in their place, and they're going to make sure to hire more as you scale up. They can also deal with invoicing and sending out payments or collecting payments. And overall, just making sure everything's going smooth like a wave. I have a VA who basically handles all these things for me. I primarily do the ads myself, but she keeps an eye on them. And we kind of work together on that just to take off some of the workload for me, because one person is all it takes to really get this all done. But automating and delegating this business is one of the last things you want to do. Everyone wants to get there, but most people don't have the motivation to even start because they don't actually think this business model is possible. They don't think it's real. They don't believe in it, right? But lucky for you, I have the receipts to prove it. You can check out this video on the screen here. I interviewed one of my clients I helped set this up for. He went from like full-time employee to an online business owner in only 30 days, completely replaced his full-time income and doubled it within that 1 month period. So follow along his journey, see how the business model has changed his life forever.